Welcome back. We're moving on now to the Daily Sun. Major headline, curtain falls for Buhari Awujale. ADC government clash over Tinubu's absence after BRICS. Queries president's whereabouts for 5 days. Nigeria faces external shock risks as dollar inflows dip. It says it slumps to 4.84 billion US dollars. CBN citizens cut supply to FX market. Insecurity, step up intelligence gathering, be proactive. NGE tells security agencies. What stories do we have in the Sun?
NGE.
Did you take that?
Yes, I did.
For you.
So the Nigerian Guild of Editors has charged the country's security agencies to step up intelligence gathering and be proactive in handling security challenges currently facing the country. So this charge was contained in a communique issued by the Guild and jointly signed by its president and the General Secretary Eze and Abba and Unoha Uke at the end of its 2025 biennial convention that was held in Enugu recently. So the theme actually for the convention was Nation's Security Future, Harnessing Diversity for Peace, Stability and Media's Role. According to the communique, some of the key resolutions for the convention were that security is the duty of the government and citizens. The media must promote peace, inclusion and justice by prioritizing peace and stability over breaking news. Security agencies and media must collaborate to promote peace and stability. Media practices should promote diversity and representation as well as avoid one-sided stories and sensationalism. The media should promote dialogue and consider implications of reporting certain things. The government must see the media as a profession of patriots who have the interests of the nation at heart, and the government should equip the military and other security agencies with requisite modern weapons needed to ensure securities. And others include that security agencies should step up in intelligence gathering, be proactive in handling security challenges. The legislature should look into laws that inhabit media practices, the spirit of democracy, and so on and so forth. It's just good to hear these words being reiterated, you know, that we do as media have a responsibility, you know, and what we take, what we say, how we say it, and the intention behind what is said. And the intention should always be about prioritizing peace, really, and stability in our country.
In the nation, yeah.
Okay, so let me take the aero contractor's boss querying the $300 helicopter landing fees. He's saying that the NAEBI Dynamic Concept, which is a service provider for the recently received the federal government under the former Minister of Aviation, Adisirika, to collect $300 helicopter landing fees from oil and gas service providers last month. And the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency issued a directive saying that the money ought to be paid by oil and gas companies, not by the members of airline operators, that is the helicopter operators. But he reacted, that's Captain Ado Sanusi reacted, saying that they've not provided any service to warrant any of this cost recovery and shouldn't be compelled to pay such money. So he's contesting this, and I hope that it will be looked into, because $300 will translate to higher fees for the users, the consumers of this service.
Okay, so I have a story here. Gunmen have killed 2 persons in Abba community, Ishielu local government, Ebonyi State. Sunday Chukwu Nwadibia, the town union president of the community, was the one that gave the name of the deceased as Sunday Oyibe, a school proprietor, and Chukwu Ebuka. Nwadibia said the community had been witnessing attacks and robberies since last year, which led to loss of lives and cash running into millions, and property also worth millions of naira. He revealed that before the killing of Onyibe and Ebuka, the hoodlums attacked a POS operator in the community and dispossessed him of 2.7 million naira. The town union president also said the hoodlum usually wear military camouflage with bulletproof vests. They also snatched a Toyota Corolla car and 5 motorcycles from members of the community when they started operating in the area. He said that their activities have crippled economic activities in the community and urged security agencies to come to their aid. He says, I was in my office when people started running that armed robbers are robbing at our junction. So everybody started looking for safety, not knowing that the hoodlums are already coming very close to that side of the community. He said before we could notice it, we heard gunshots. Me and my workers also started looking for safety. Now, the hoodlums advanced to another junction very close to my house, and at that junction, said the junction is called Oriagba. And they started operating there, and people started running. He said he had to climb one upstairs and started watching the hoodlums. He said they started shooting heavily and approached his office, which he had locked already when he noticed their presence in the community. They said he shot one Sunday Oyibe, the founder of Unique International School. He's also the chairman of Timbers Association in the area. They had to rush him to the hospital after they left. They went ahead and shot another person. So they're asking that the police would do what they need to do and fish out those perpetrators.
Okay, so I have stories from analysts who said that Nigeria faces external shock and the risk because of the inflow of dollars has dipped. So in this story, the US dollar, they said the Nigerian supply of US dollar has dropped a bit to 4.85 billion in June 2025 as opposed to 6.74 billion recorded in May, which represents a 28% fall. And the analysts are saying that this doesn't bode well because it will send a message that can influence investors from bringing in their money, that it can also affect the market. They said if investors, foreign investors, perceive risk, whether global or local, they would exit. And their exit would not go well for the Nigerian Naira because to put more pressure on the Naira. This is from the Cordos Securities. They believe that the foreign portfolio inflow should continue to rise, and that would make our market more attractive. Previously, before this, the CBN governor Olayemi Cardoso had been injecting dollars into the market, but they pulled back to try and let things go through market forces by itself without having to depend on their influence. But the analysis is that maybe they might need to still come back and step in a bit with more inflow of dollars so that the market would not go on a free fall.
Yeah, so let's look at stories we've not taken in the Vanguard. We have Obi, Labour Party kicks as Abure's faction visits Wike, and we have NGE urges government media, okay, we've taken that. Pension managers fail in enlisting new contributors, resort to poaching. What do we have in the Vanguard?
Obi, Labour Party. They said a meeting between the factional national chairman of Labour Party, Barrister Julius Abure, and the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, has reportedly sent ripples of concern through the camp of the party's presidential candidate in the 2023 election. They said there was a closed-door meeting. It took place at Wike's residence in Abuja, and given the ongoing internal wrangling within the party and then the recent developments concerning Peter Obi's political alignment with ADC, it wasn't received quite well. The faction of the party that's been led by Senator Esther Ninadi Usman declared that the meeting of Abure's faction with Wike has confirmed long-standing suspicions about his allegiance. They said even though they are unaware of, they're not sure of what the agenda of the meeting is, but just that meeting itself, already has caused issues. Then they said INEC even tried to wade into the crisis, especially as 2027 election is fast approaching. But they said that the factions have refused to heed INEC's advice, and it doesn't seem like they are going to sort themselves out anytime soon. Even though 2027 is fast approaching. But I know Nigerian politicians, they always find a way to sort themselves out.
They will, their interest first. So we have a final story here, indications that pension funds administrators, PFAs, are still struggling to enlist new pension contributors despite massive growth in the size of the country's pension assets. So data from the National Pension Commission, that's PENCOM, indicates that pension assets have grown to over 22.5 trillion, about 83% over the last 5 years, when it stood at 12.3 trillion. But the same data shows that in sharp contrast, the number of the new pension contributors grew by merely 20.8% to 391,958 over the same period from 324,552 recorded in 2020. Meanwhile, as a result of their inability to grow their portfolio by enlisting new pension account holders, the PENCOM data also indicates that the pension fund management companies have resorted to poaching contributors from one another, recycling existing account holders. So because they're not getting new influx into the pension contributory scheme, they are now going to different companies. You can tell you, offer you better, and then they move you from one pension company to the other. And it's saying that according to the data, that would actually implode the industry. They need to find ways to go out there and get fresh people into the pencom.
Very quick story. This is celebrating 2 Nigerian immigrants who are listed among the 125 billionaire immigrants in America. So we have the Adebayo, Ogunlesi and Tope Awotona, and I think that it is because we always talk about the ones that are killing or doing one crime or the other. Let us also talk about the ones who have contributed big time into the economy of the US. These are Nigerian-born, both of them born in Nigeria, relocated to America, and they are billionaires in America.
They made
dollars.
It.
Yes,
wow.
They made it. It's possible for us.
Amazing. Congratulations to them. That's all we can take on the newspaper reviews. When we come back, we'll move on to the topics for today. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.